I'm Rachel, and I have been suffering with bipolar for the last 22 years. I have bipolar type 1, which deals with manic episodes and extremes of up and down. So that is why it's called bipolar type 1. And bipolar type 2 deals with depressive episodes. But as we go on, we will be speaking to a clinical psychologist who will then elaborate and give you more details about both types of bipolar. Today, we want to go into a little bit more depth about some of the common symptoms of bipolar 1. In my case, I suffer from grandiose behavior. I suffer from hypersexuality. I suffer from lack of sleep. I suffer from manic disorder. And I suffer from sadness, or as I call it, shame. My bipolar, my relapse episodes usually starts off with when my sleep is affected. When my sleep is affected, then I know I am in for a world of trouble. So if I am not getting enough sleep for over a period of time, and it's usually going on for say like between 4 and 6 weeks, where my sleep is constantly interrupted and I'm not sleeping, and no matter what I'm doing I'm not sleeping properly, that means I am due for having some sort of relapse. And something needs to be addressed as well. Bipolar is the only mental illness that I'm aware of that you could be doing everything right, where you take your medication and do everything and you can still have a relapse. And that is very evident from my case. I have had 5 relapses, and in all of my cases I have been taking my medication. So that's something that you need to understand. Okay, so my bipolar, so sleep, lack of sleep, bam, and oh my goodness. And I have what do you call it? I have a checks and balance system. So I have some friends from the US, from Trinidad, and London, and the moment they see me calling them at all different hours when I should be sleeping, they are aware that, okay, something is going on. So, second thing that happens is that all of my friends will tell you that Rachel has champagne taste. She used to have champagne money, but she has champagne taste and water money. So I have very simple taste, but very, very expensive habits. So when I experience grandiose behavior, it usually follows that when I'm having a manic episode, my grandiose behavior follows my lifestyle. So for instance, I am not going to have a grandiose episode and, like, I'm going to want to go and stay at the Ritz-Carlton or the Dorchester Hotel, or I'm going to go and want to eat at the Lanesborough. I had a friend, and unfortunately she passed away, and whenever she had an episode, she wanted to go and stay in the park and live underneath the bridge. That is not me. So one of the things that happened, not recently, but I thought I owned the Dorchester Hotel. So I booked a full spa treatment with facial and everything like that. So they completely serviced me and everything like that. And much to my chagrin, then the bill came. And I'm like, well, why are they handing me a bill? I own this place. Obviously, I did not own the place. So when the bill came, And I looked at it and I checked my bank balance. The bank balance and the bill were not meshing. So I leave the end of the story for another time, but that was an example of one of my grandiose behavior. Another example of my grandiose behavior during a manic episode is that I obviously went to university, several universities as a matter of fact, because I am a qualified solicitor, barrister, and attorney at law. But I was convinced that I went to Oxford University with my friend Tim, and he had to keep telling me, no, Rachel, I took you to Oxford, but you did not attend Oxford. And he had to keep reiterating that to me so that I could understand that in the middle of my mania, that yes, you are all of these things, but that is one university that you did not attend. And people need to understand that when people such as myself are having an episode and we are saying things, we actually, at the time when we are saying it, we genuinely believe what we are saying is the truth. We are not lying. People may think we're being delusional and all of this stuff. And yes, we are delusional at the time. But what we are saying in our heads is the truth. It is the truth. We believe that we went to Oxford. We believe we owned a Dorchester. We believe these things. So it is very hard when our family members and people who love us are trying to tell us, no, 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 no. You know, they can't reach us because they are trying to reach the calm and rational part of us when the disease part of our minds is racing and believing all of these things. So when you're dealing with a member of your family who has bipolar or any other mental illness, please, please, please use compassion. Please, please, please try and walk in their shoes, because normally it is not the person that you love at that point in time that you're dealing with. The person that you love at that point in time is like 350 steps ahead of you, because they're racing, their mind is racing, especially if you suffer from bipolar. Another symptom of my bipolar is hypersexuality. And for me, that is one of the most dangerous parts of my illness. This part of my illness actually caused my divorce, which is something that I should be ashamed of, but I'm not, because at the time I was ill. I did not understand this illness. I am learning more about this illness. I am very comfortable with this illness now because I have to live with this illness. Hence the reason why it's called living with bipolar. And this illness enhanced all of my sexual inhibitions. This part of my disease, illness, is extremely scary for someone like me. While I was at university, I was called Frigidaire. Out of all of my friends, I think I was the most sexually repressed human being that I knew, and probably to this day still knows. And then for all of this to be happening to me was scary. But with mania,